we've got here is another XT500 to be worked on. I think this one needs a bit more work than the last one that you saw in one of my videos, but we'll unload it, have a walk around, see what we can see, and yeah, start making a list. So stay tuned. So let's take a first look around it. It looks reasonably neat. So levers, they seem a little short, or they're just positioned wrong, so they could do with moving out a little bit. It's got some road bias tyres on it rather than off-road knobblies. Light shell in good condition. Again, short lever, not quite set up to the switches. It feels as though it's not quite right, but I'll have a look and see if I've got some longer levers for that. Forks are in good condition. Yep, front hub all good. Spokes good, rims good. Yeah, switches all in place, nothing broken. Side 2. Now, they don't look original, but I'll work that out. Let's have a look. And also, they're on the wrong sides by the look of it, because we've got the adjuster there. That should be on the outside, so rev counter other way around. Seat is in good condition, tank is in good condition. Okay, so usually this is a key release on this side, so we'll see what that is under there. Let's move around the back. So aftermarket exhaust, yep, we'll see what that sounds like when we get it going. Rear hub looks okay, bit of bird shit. God, that's a big one. But generally, good condition. I can see a bit of coloration there, so carb might be leaking. But we're going to strip that off anyway because it's sat for a while, so I'm guessing the fuel is all going to be congealed. Jets will need cleaning. Yeah, okay. Let's set about taking off saddle, side panels, get the tank off and empty the fuel that's in it, get the carb off and give that a clean, check for spark, and do all the basics. Check the oil level as well. These are usually really tight. Yeah, I need to get a spanner on that. mole grips on that. But yeah, off we go. So first issue, the only thing holding the saddle down is the strap. There should be 2 bolts up inside that hold that down, but the strap at the moment is the only thing. So we'll get that off. And not a particularly good job of doing a saddle cover, although copious amounts of outer. But yeah, we'll fix that in place. It's still got a battery in it, so I doubt that's any use any longer. I've got to take the airbox out anyway to give me, or at least loosen it to give me a bit of space to get the carb out. So let's see what horrors are inside here. Sure, not as bad as I was expecting. So I don't know if you can see what's also been done here. There's a bit of tin can wrapped around here. This has been used, I'm guessing, as a heat shield for this plastic, but I'll find out as I take it off. That might actually be their idea of joining 2 pipes. Ooh. Okay, we'll be making another one of those. So it's still got all the plastic former in there, but we'll make a new one of those like we did with the last XT. carb off. Let's get on the bench, clean it up, and get it back on. Oh, there's, you can see, look at this treacle. So not sure what the inside's going to be like. Dismantled so far, first stage. Right, here we go. Let's see what horrors await inside this. Oh, not too bad. Okay. Let's just clear up that spillage. Right, what have we got going on here? No wear marks on that. I think this has probably been rebuilt. Let's see, these look nice and clean. You can see what looks like a new rubber in there as well. So I probably haven't got too much to worry about. We'll get the pilot out. That's going to be my main concern. Clean as a whistle. Through the side passages, and now that I look down it, I can't get a bead of light, so that needs a little bit of clean up. Yeah, certainly does. But through the side passages, it's clean. It's just down the middle. So what we'll do is, the way that I usually do that is with a little bit of copper wire. So what you need to use is something that's not going to damage your brass. So I'll strip a bit of copper wire and feed it down the middle of that, and then what I do is I pinch it and then run this up and down the copper wire. Excuse the action. Okay, that wasn't tight. And it's clean. That also wasn't tight. Yeah, that rubber is still very pliable, you can see, so I think this has been done already. Perfectly cleaned down the pipe, but looking through the holes, yeah, one or two could just do with a little clean out again with a piece of copper wire. So all in all, that looks okay. So what we'll do is just clean those out. I'm not going to do too much on it. Measure the float height when I put it back. I can't remember what these are. I think they're 24, 25 mil when you get them set up. So yeah, let's just do the bit of cleaning. Plenty there. We'll take a couple of bits. Just start off with one. And what we're going to do is run that down the middle of the pilot jet. Yep, that's gone straight through. And then what we'll do is just grab it. I usually grab it between the teeth. And we'll just run that and what I'm doing is spinning it as well as going up and down, so you can see. So that gets the wire rubbing up against all of it. There we go. Perfect. I can see. It's going to be difficult on camera, but I know I can see right the way through that now. Yeah, trying to get the line is going to be difficult. And then let's just check through the other holes. The other holes are perfectly clear. I'm going to use the same piece. I'm just going to make sure it's straight and run it through the opposites. There we go. Same thing, all the way down this. First bit done. Doesn't want to go through. The other side must be blocked. Yeah, there it was. Okay, got it through. Same thing. Let's look through the others. Yeah, all four are clean there now, and all those four are clean, and down those ones clean. So we're just going to put that straight back in. Pinch that up. Same. I can actually see daylight down the float valve. Yep. Okay. Drop that back in. Right, let's get this and the pin. That pin is very worn at one end. I did feel that this was a bit loose. Yeah, that's incredibly loose in there. And also that is not even, I mean that's at its bottom. Look, that should be sat up on that. Yep, so we'll check out that float height. Let me go and look at what it should be first of all. Good old Google. Well, the XT500C, it's saying is 22mm plus 2.5, and the XT500E is 34 plus half a mil. to accuracy, eh? So I'm not exactly sure which model this is. It's certainly not a C. That was the first model. I've got one of those. So I'm going to go with the 34, but I'll have a little bit more research and see if there's any more accuracy across the models. Okay, this is why you should never trust what you read. So in that previous lovely Google answer, which referred to a 34mm float height, that's actually interpreted someone else's text as a 34mm from the actual carb size. So they are all in the range of the 21, 22mm. This one, I put the ruler across it, is a 32, just about, might be 34, no, more on the 32, no, not 34. So this one's a 32mm. The float heights for that are in the 22mm range, it would appear, plus or minus a couple of millimetre. So the way we do that, I need to pop the gasket out. See if we can get that out without muddling it. Okay. Doesn't want to let go. Let's keep going on it. It did over here. So I've got that. Let's slide a screwdriver around. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now, usually setting a float height is on the actual edge without the gasket, so that's just on the inside of the lip there. So looking at that, that's actually a 20mm. That's what that's set as. It is actually right on the bottom of that. It's kind of surprising. Usually there's a little bit of play on that. There's a tiny bit. So I'm actually going to pull that tang or push it down just a fraction, just to get it to 22. Now, normally I'd take it out. Let's just see if we can get it to push down without damaging the rest of it. Maybe a bit too far. Let's have a look. No, there we go. That's a 22. So there's a little bit there pushed down on the cut-off valve. Okay, so we'll put that back together, bolt it up. It would be remiss of me not to put another gasket on there, so we'll give this a bit of a clean off in here, and I will fish out another gasket for that. Okay, let's have a look at XT carb bits. What have we got in here? There's this Yam bits. That might be for my RD350. That looks like it. Yeah, wrong shape. What's doing in that box? Over here. Oh, that looks like another used one. Yep. Bowl gasket. Yep, new one. Yam bits. GSK 142. Okay, and that's that way around over the post. Here we go. And I'm actually going to take a look at this because there was a lot of residue on the bottom of this. So what I want to check out is that sealed? Someone's been having a go at it by the look of it. So let's just pop that off and check it. I'll find a spring that fits. What is it, 13? No, 14. Let's get a decent pair of adjustables. Nope, that doesn't want to move. Nope. Okay, that's on there solid. I'll just pop that in the vise and give it a twist, I think. Okay, it doesn't want to move with the socket fitted over it, so we'll give it a little bit of heat. I'm just going to use propane torch rather than get the MAP gas on it, because that will just melt it. So we'll just get a little bit of heat into that and see if it lets go. Nope, that's rolling over the corners of that. That does not want to let go. So while we're here, let's just check out the drain screw. That is also not in a good shape. Okay. What I'm going to do is file this to give better edges. So it might come down a size. It's 14mm at the moment, but we'll give it a file down and just get it to take a socket better. Okay, so this is actually a 12-point socket where they're not as tight onto a bolt as a 6-point. So I've actually got a 6-point in 14mm, which should sit over that. And it does. Let's just see if that has got the bite. No, that does not want to move. Let's give it some more heat. I'm going to risk it and get the MAP gas. There we go. And obviously I've burnt the seal out of it as well, but it's off. Okay, needs a new rubber, but it's out. Right, let's see if we can get the drain screw out. Yes, let's let go. All still piping hot. I should have some rebuild kits, so I've got these rubbers. I've probably got new drain screw as well. Perfect. Right, let's see what I've got in here. Needle jets. That looks like the rubber in there that I need for the float bolt. One of those. And then there's two other rubbers in there. Let's see if either of those are drain screw size. Looks like that one is. Yep, so let's pick that off. Bit loose. Okay, let's keep looking. Might be something else. It's all clear through there. We'll give that inside a clean as rust or something. So we'll just grease that up actually. So a little bit of grease on that. Actually what I might do, just run a hacksaw blade across that, or a file. I've got a tiny file here. There we go. To give that groove a bit of a chance. And we come to take it out again if anybody does. There we go. Okay. Grease. Yeah, that rubber's not the right size. Let me go and see if I can find something that fits. Is there one in this kit? No, all the same. Okay, and look for a small rubber. Grommets, plugs. Okay, I don't think I've got anything that small. No. Okay. Okay, that works. What I had was some small rubber grommets. So basically just cut one half off. Nice tight fit into the groove. Perfect. Just drive that home so that the tapered bit seats in. There we go. Fitted. Okay, so a bit of grease around the inside of that thread. Let's clean this out. Okay, that appears to be the right size for that. So let's just put a little bit of grease on there, all around the thread. Get it into it, and then just a little bit to hold that rubber in place. There we go. Pump. Push it home. I'm not going to go mad on doing this up. Just seated and then a little pinch. It should be enough, but we'll see once it's got fuel in it. Okay, back to putting this together. So what I noticed is a couple of the screws didn't have little shape-proof washers, so I just need to go and find a couple of those. Right, got two of those. That's that back on. Let's just check around, make sure we've not got any cracks in this. No, that seems okay. We'll check one on the bike in a minute. Right, so let's have a look at this. This looks as though there's a little bit of rust in there. So we'll get some WD-40 onto this. And also that appears to be, which the choke lever appears to be sticking. Might just be that it's stuck on this, or it could be that the plunger is sticking. So let's give it a bit all over because it is dry. Yeah, it was just, there you go. It was just sticking on the, there's a little ball bearing under there. Now it's got a little bit of lube on it. More in there. I'm going to take it apart. Otherwise I'm going to see the ball bearing go shooting across the floor. I don't know if I've got any spares. So, yep, that's the choke lever now back in action. And it could do with a good clean up actually. You can see. Okay, so let's have a look at this adjuster. Oh, it turns. It's just incredibly stiff. So we'll just get some more lube in there. I might actually do, let's take that out and put some grease on it. Okay. There we go. Grease all over that and the spring. That's better. I suspect that used to have a plastic knob on it as well, judging by that spigot there. I need to check my own. I think it is, but I can still get to that and turn it if I need to. So while it's on the bench, I'm just going to set that just so it's touching, just about to move that. And I can, let's just check. That's all nice and free. Put my finger in there and feel the slide move. Yep, so I'll let that back down. Boom, yep, can feel it coming down on my finger. Stopped. There, just there. So I know that I'm now right on that point if I need to set this up adjustment wise on tick over. And then we've also got, appears to be an adjustment screw here. Not quite sure what that's going to though. Is that my max? It is. Okay, so this is my max opening adjustment screw. This one here, where this comes around and touches it. So we'll just make sure it's free. I don't want it in any other place other than where it is. Yep, that moves. And if I look at max adjustment, that slide is just out of sight now. in there when it hits it. So that'll be full bore, full gas. Okay, let's give this a bit of a wipe over and clean up. Okay, that's ready to go back in. Let's do one more thing. I'm just going to look at this clip and get, yeah, it is loose. It's just looking a bit dirty. Put some grease over it. Stop the invasion of rust. There we go. Okay, that's ready to go back in. Now, the keen-eyed amongst you will have realised that I didn't put the pilot back in. Only when I came to clear up did I see it lying there. So, lesson to me, do things in reverse of what you did. So that would have been an interesting start-up, or not. Not too tight, just a little squeeze. So if that ever corrodes in there, you are knackered. Well, not completely. I have got them out before. Okay. Second time, it's ready to go back in. Let's see if there's anything else I've left out. No.